Ford Ranger Raptor, the Suzuki Jimny and the Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. Arguably three of the best factory prepped off-roaders on the market. Two of them with a proud 4x4 hardcore heritage and one of them with off-road racing DNA. All of them capable of four-wheel drives, but all of them with different strengths and weaknesses. We're here at an off-road driver training facility to check out which of these off-roaders might be the best one for you. Your time poor, and I'm not your life coach. So for even more details about these vehicles, head to carsguide.com.au and read my full reviews. And if you're watching this video on YouTube, make sure you hit like and subscribe to stay up to date with all of our news and reviews. This four-seater Jimny has a 4-speed automatic transmission, 1.5 litre 4-cylinder naturally aspirated petrol engine and a dual-range four-wheel drive transfer case. It has a ladder chassis, solid axles, coil springs, and it's on Bridgestone Jeweler tyres. The Jimny, the pipsqueak of this pack, is 3,645mm long with a 2,250mm wheelbase. It's 1,645mm wide and 1,725mm high. It has a listed curb weight of just over a tonne. The Jimny has a 3-star ANCAP safety rating. This four-door, four-seater Rubicon has a 2.2 litre 4-cylinder turbo diesel engine, 8-speed auto, dual-range transfer case, front and rear diff locks and a sway bar disconnect system. It has a ladder frame chassis, live axles, coil springs, and it's riding on BF Goodrich mud terrain tyres. The Rubicon, the middleweight contender of this mob, is 4,882mm long with a 3,008mm wheelbase. It is 1,894mm wide and 1,848mm high. It has a listed curb weight of 2,160 kilograms. The Rubicon has a 1-star ANCAP safety rating. The Raptor has a 2-litre 4-cylinder bi-turbo diesel engine, a 10-speed auto, a dual-range transfer case and a 6-mode terrain management system that includes a Baja mode, and that's inspired by the Raptor's Baja 1000 desert racing routes. It has a ladder chassis, double wishbone front suspension, solid axle and coil springs at the rear. It also has twin-tube 2.5-inch Fox Racing shocks and BF Goodrich all-terrain tyres. The Raptor is the big dog of this pack, measuring 5,398mm long with a 3,220mm wheelbase. It's 2,180mm wide and 1,873mm high. It has a listed curb weight of 2,342 kilograms. The Raptor has a 5-star ANCAP safety rating. Our four-wheel drive course includes sand, gravel, tracks, corrugation, steep rocky hills, rutted downhill runs and a lazy pub crawl. I'm only joking about that last one. This is all low-speed four-wheel driving, so we've dropped tyre pressures on all three vehicles to 20 psi, and that's for better off-road ride and handling and to improve traction. We might drop these even further if we need to. Enough of the chit-chat, let's get stuck into this. If you're going to do any four-wheel driving in Australia, no doubt you'll spend a fair chunk of time on the beach. And on the beach means you'll be driving sand. And on the sand, you're usually in high range. It's a pretty good state of play. But the problem is in the Jimny, when you hit 30 k's an hour in high range, stability control kicks in and bleeds all your speed, which is not ideal because on the beach, you want that all-important momentum. You want to keep it up so you don't get bogged. It may be tested and trail rated on the legendary rocky US track for which it's named, but the Rubicon is no slouch on Aussie sand either. With plenty of sustained torque on tap as well as those grippy tyres and a squat balanced stance, this Jeep is very capable on the soft stuff. Alright, so we've got the Raptor in 4 high, in sand mode, and it's probably the most fun out of all three. It's certainly the liveliest. Get around, get a fair bit of speed, get some movement. Just because it's fun though doesn't mean it's the most capable of this bunch, but it's pretty close, if not the best thing here to drive fast in sand, which is what it's designed for really. I mean, we'll whack it into Baja mode in a second, but really the Raptor loves it in the sand. Loves the stuff. No. Go you, good thing. I've whacked it in Baja mode and we are off. It's a hell of a lot of fun. It's a hell of a lot of fun in this stuff. It's got that wider track and it just really sits well in the sand. It's got plenty enough traction with those all-terrain tyres, but it's just a barrel of laughs. They're all pretty competent in the sand, but the Raptor, it's certainly a good old laugh. Now there's a fair bit of rocking and rolling in the Jimny getting across this creek crossing, but in the Rubicon it's a different story. You've got a bit more weight, sort of wider wheel track, and it gets across these rocks no worries. I mean, you've got all that traction from these muddies, the mud terrain tyres, and you've got that low rock crawling gear that just keeps pushing you along, and really it's no worries at all. This is, there's a fair bit of rocking and rolling, but this is a lot of fun. This hill is not just any hill. Four-wheel drive trainers and clubs use this as a make or break scenario. So it's a top track to put these three four-wheel drives through their paces. Oh yes. There we go. So there we are. We got the left rear wheel up. It's probably ground's ground's a long way from it. It's probably said hooroo to the ground. You can see we're tipping over fairly severely. I can almost touch mud, get a fistful of mud. It does work a lot harder than the other two by far. I mean, you've got to really push the thing, and obviously the tyres aren't ideal. It's on road rubber. And the suspension, standard suspension, it needs some aftermarket stuff in there. And without a diff lock, it just struggles. I mean, compared to the other two that do it so easily and so well, this thing really tries hard. It gets through, sure it gets through, but man oh man, it's a bit of a tipsy old run. So alrighty, I'll keep going. Touching mud, damn it. Here we go, pretty greasy. It may be light and small and it's a lot of fun, but man oh man, it's a bit of a wild ride. That traction control needs a fair bit of right boot to keep it going, and to kick in you need a fair bit of wheel spin to get things moving along. It is fun, but some people might balk at the fear factor. Anyway, I'm going to push on. But that did it pretty easy. It's a big unit. It's longer and heavier, obviously much longer and heavier than the Jimny, but so composed going down there. That second run was with hill descent control engaged. So composed, so stable, just did it easy. All right, see you soon. The Raptor's engineered as a straight out of the showroom high-speed dirt racer, but it also does a decent job at low speeds. Strong low-range gearing, pretty cluey auto transmission, those very grippy tyres, good ground clearance and plenty of wheel travel mean the Raptor can get through the worst of deep-rutted climbs and downhills, no worries. Its extra-wide wheel track and super spongy suspension help to keep it stable and settled through even the roughest of sections. The Jimny is heaps of fun. It's a real experience driving it through hardcore four-wheel drive terrain. and it is very capable. But while the other two here are capable and comfortable while they're driving through very difficult terrain, the Jimny just feels a little too precarious in sections that these bigger vehicles amble through without difficulty. It has to work harder than the Raptor and Rubicon to achieve what they achieve with less fuss. However, you've got to remember, it is a third of the price of the other two and a very appealing proposition for the money. The Raptor is more suited to high-speed hijinks on dirt, gravel or sand than low-speed four-wheel driving, but it still manages those challenges with assured competence and comfort. It may just be the best off-road dual-cab performance ute available, but it's not the best off-roader here. If it's real-world four-wheel drive capability you're after, you can't go past the Rubicon. It's simply the best off-roader here. Front and rear diff lock, sway bar disconnect, that low range gearing, everything on the Rubicon, no compromises, makes it the best rough and ready four-wheel drive weapon in this mob. What do you reckon? Did I get it right? Tell us in the comments section below.